Good morning, Wrestling Inc. Welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily. It is me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, Nicholas Thomas Hausman, in the house here to talk all the news the past 24 hours with our good friend, Second City Chicago's EJ Cameron. EJ, welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
What's up, Nick? Didn't know your middle name was Thomas.
Yeah, Nickel T. That's me.
Nickel T. I love it.
Yeah. That's like one of the many wrestling names I've toyed around with. Yeah, Nicholas Thomas Hausman. I have like the whitest Christian name of all time. Nicholas Thomas.
I'm saying. And then Hausman. Great German inventor. Nicholas Thomas Hausman.
Well, I was
nickel plating.
I was told that my dad wanted to call me Wolfgang. But was talked out of that. And honestly, Wolfgang Hausman, that name kicks ass. Like, I'm kind of sad I'm not. Right?
You would have been a monster with that name. No, you couldn't have that name.
Wolfgang Hausman, that's awesome. That kicks ass. So, whatever.
Us doing our recess job and your name is Wolfgang.
Anyway. Welcome back, everybody. EJ's here today because our good friend Pollo Del Mar, Paul Pratt, is busy today. Of course, Pollo Del Mar, very popular in the drag queen community. It's Pride Month. If you didn't know, go love on someone, do your thing. But very busy this month. We'll be back next week, and I believe every Thursday for the rest of the month. But a commitment came up today, so I don't know what happened. Maybe a fun brunch, something like that. So that's where Paul's at. So we get EJ today. And
hey.
EJ, I want to real quick before we get to the wrestling news here. You broke some cool Second City news to me that I think people would find interesting. What happened this morning?
Oh, yeah. I just found out that Stephen Colbert will be on the artistic directing board for Second City.
Does that mean that you get to meet and work with Stephen Colbert now?
I'm hoping. The article was like, hopefully this means more jobs for the performers. And somebody else, I should know their name, from Comedy or Die. Will also be on the board. So,
wow. So, there's a chance. By the way, everybody, we may lose EJ at any given time because he's going to go to Saturday Night Live, or maybe now go right for the Colbert Show or something like that,
or any random audition. It could be anything. I could have been the voice of Domino's last week. I was this close.
Were you going to be the Noid?
No, just the general this is a 5-topping pizza, blah, 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 blah. One of those regular commercial you hear in the car.
Okay.
Or you just hear the voiceover.
All right. Well,
yeah.
You'd be a good Noid. You'd be a good Noid is all I'm saying.
I would like to be something. I need to be a mascot somewhere. I'm trying to be the new Flo for somewhere. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Wolfgang and the Noid. Welcome to Wolfgang and the Noid, everybody.
Wolfgang and the Noid. I think we got.
Yeah. Wolfgang and the Noid. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. Well, if you can't tell, I'm in a great mood today. EJ and I are idiots, and we're going to talk some wrestling now. Yeah, we are live. This is live. This is happening. And if you're watching this, you are a better person for it. Jump in the comments section. Let us know what you think. Talk along with us during the show. We will throw some of your comments up onto the screen. We will talk about them. If you're listening to us in audio form after we have gone live, after we talk the news, you're going to hear the full audio from Triple H's NXT media call. Now, usually at 1 p.m. Eastern, we've been debuting the latest audio for the show, the interview or whatever. We're not allowed to live stream the NXT media call. I think we might put a video up of it just so if people want to enjoy it that way. So no formal premiere. Really, if you want to hear the Triple H media call and you're watching us live, go listen to us on the audio podcast and then just fast forward through all of this stuff or listen to it again because it's all good. And then you can hear the full audio and just a little bit from the media call. And then we'll dive into the mailbag later. We're just generally going to look at what your favorite pro wrestling TV show is each week at the moment. But now let's get to it. News you can use. News will leave a bruise. A lot of really interesting news in the past 24 hours about some of the recently released WWE talent. We'll start with PW Insider's report that there's said to be a feeling among some within WWE that Aleister Black, the now Tommy End, should be brought back in certain corners of the company. I'm going to guess the dark corners where he sat reading his books or waiting for people to knock, right? Remember how he did that stuff? Yeah, right. So anyway, there's been talk that Black was cut prematurely and a push for WWE officials to bring him back. It was noted that as the shock of the recent releases starts to wear off, there's a feeling that out of everyone released on June 2nd, Black was, quote, cut too soon and was more the victim of broken promises and the stop-start creative process more than anything he did on his own. Remains to be seen if WWE will bring him back, but he has revealed that there were creative plans for him when he was released past the SmackDown arrival that he made in late May attacking Big E. He's still under a 90-day non-compete, and that looks to expire on Tuesday, August 31st. What do you think about Aleister Black possibly coming back to WWE?
I just love you could be an independent contractor and not be able to work when you're let go. I think they let him go too soon. I agree. He was way better. Everybody loved him. Audiences are coming back. Everybody loved him. The reaction he got for his entrances. And then they made him lose an eye, wear an eye patch, sit in the back room for months. It's their fault. They had it's making a filet mignon well done and putting ketchup on it and then being like, well, this is bad, isn't it? It's like, yeah, you made it that way. This is a good cut of meat. Do better. He's so good. I thought he was going to be the new Undertaker incarnate, like the new mystical being. And then you set him and Bray Wyatt at each other to have a mystical battle with lightning and fire. I'd watch it. But, you know, they just kind of made him weird. And then he came back and we learned about his dad and then they let him go.
Right. And, you know, the production on those vignettes was great with the graphics and the cartoons and everything, but really didn't grab me. Just felt like more of we're back to waiting for a door to knock. And, you know, it is one of those things you don't realize maybe what you have till it's gone because, man, when you see Twitter explode with like, what if Tommy End comes back and is the new leader of the Dark Order? How great does he look in this meme with Darby Allin and Sting, right? Like, I don't know that you're thinking like that, but when you see Darby Allin, Sting, and Tommy End all in the same photo, you're like, wow, that looks really cool. Holy shit, why did we let this guy go? Right? Maybe we weren't doing it right. That's something I thought about while reading this, you know?
And character stuff aside, character is great. He's great in the ring from top to bottom, just what he does. Now you have fantasy matches of, oh, he's going to tear it up with this person, and it's not going to be a lumberjack match with zombies. He can have 30 minutes with Kenny Omega somewhere or here, go over here to Mexico. It could be anything. Him and his wife can get together and be a duo.
Sure.
There's so many options now.
Well, and with Zelina, too, because there were reports that she was down at the PC, and if they're trying to woo her or bring her back or whatever because she left on, like, you know, some kind of questionable terms where she was outspoken about unionism and then got released. So, you know, go back and listen to all the union stuff I did about 8 months ago. But if you're trying to woo her and bring her back to the fold, firing her husband does not seem like a great way to woo Zelina Vega. Bringing him back would maybe make it better for her to feel more comfortable as well, you know?
Yeah, you would think that would be smart. That would be a smart move, Nick. But, you know, we're here and this is where we live. So I don't know what they're going to do, or maybe that was her deal. She was like, let him go and keep me. I don't know. Maybe they got into a fight and they're petty.
Well, and here's the silver lining for Aleister Black. In my opinion, if this is true and there's some remorse about letting him go, they see his value on the market, they want to bring him back to the fold, I would expect him to make more money when they resign him, right? Because he's not going to come back for what you released him for. He's going to say, you guys blew it. If you want me back, you better tack, 6 more figures on top of that, you know?
Yeah, because I'm sure he can just pull out his email and be like, oh, all these people are offering me this. Yeah. What are you going to do for me? And make it better than what you did before. Because they brought people back, Daniel Bryan, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, maybe, but they're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah, dude, you guys blew it. You have to pay a tax for the blowing. You pay the blowing it tax is what you have to pay in a situation like this.
The blowing it tax.
Yeah, you blew it. You pay the blow tax. Okay. Yeah. Wolfgang in the Noid. Yeah.
Blows with an EAUX.
I'm an idiot.
Bleh.
Dino saying if Aleister does return, he should be paired up with Damian Priest, and Priest could be his quote father. I think Tommy might be older than Priest.
I think so. I don't.
Yeah. We have Samantha here. Maybe the cuts weren't budget cuts, but resets. They're going to bring them all back. It'll feel like new since we were shocked they were released. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe Braun and Buddy and Aleister all show up front row, release talents coming back to invade and take back the company. Seems exciting.
Yeah, or maybe it's one of those. The budget move, and they're like, hey, we're gonna let you go for a little bit because we got to do this quick little move. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as that happens, we're going to get so much more money that we're going to bring you back and you'll make more money. Is what I would maybe.
We also have Alonzo here. Although I'd like to see Zelina and Aleister together. I'd like to see Zelina and Aleister together on screen similar to Scarlett and Carrie. Yeah, they work really well together. And I'm excited to see what Miro and Lana look like over in AEW here in 85 days or so, or whatever, 70 days, you know?
Miro is the man. I've been meaning to text you about him. When he took Jake Snake and just chucked it.
Dude, I was there live. And like I was there live at Double or Nothing. And then I did the scrums, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like right behind Sean Ross Sapp, and I'm sitting next to who was I sitting right next to? There was Cassidy there. I'll remember this. Anyway, I'm watching this play out. I had a couple cocktails, right? And I drink water through the last 3 matches, so I'm good in the scrums, right? But I like to have a beer when I'm watching the pro wrestling. And I'm sitting there and I'm very into it. The energy's in the room. And then Miro picks up this bag that I think has a snake in it, and he starts shaking it around. And I swear to God, EJ, I jumped out and I said, if you are abusing an animal, I am going to be pissed off right now, right? Really like aggressive, like to the point people looked and were like, "Oh shit!" Like Hausman's upset, and then he chucked it. And I was like, "Oh, thank God! There's no way there's an actual snake in there."
Just the visual of it, though, I was like, "Yo!"
I was like full up out of my seat, like pointing, like I was directly addressing Miro, like, "You better not assault an animal right now."
Pro wrestling. Real reactions.
Somebody asked Tony Khan in the scrums how the snake was doing, and Tony's like, "There's no snake. There was no snake in there. Are you an idiot?"
I would have been like, "He's dead."
Yeah. Wait, one more thing on Aleister, or maybe 2 more things here. Hopefully, rumors of Aleister Black returning is the real thing and not a case of the fake Diesel, fake Razor Black being played by another wrestler and not Tommy End. That would be a disaster. I'm going to tell you this. I do not think they are going to try to do another. It's not going to be Sin Cara style, right? No.
I don't think they're going to do it for Aleister Black. No disrespect, but that would just be a weird move. They'd be like, damn, y'all really hated him, huh?
James McCrossan III. I heard Black wanted to do a Ministry of Darkness thing with Taker as the leader. That would have been awesome. A new Ministry of Darkness, and Taker doesn't have to wrestle. He could send out his minions, to do his bidding. It would have been awesome.
There were all sorts of rumors about what he was going to be doing. Apparently a thing with Brock Lesnar somewhere. I don't know.
Well, let's move along here.
I will never know. Yeah.
Let's move along. We'll move along here. There was somebody that gave me a pivot line here in the where is it? Oh, I forgot. I don't see it anymore. Well, somebody brought up Braun Strowman here in the chat room, and I'm moving too quickly here. I can't see it. So let's talk about Braun. PW Insider reporting that Braun Strowman charging a 5-figure booking fee for his post-WWE appearances on the Indies. Indie promoters who have reached out to Strowman about possible bookings report that the asking price currently in that 5-figure range. Word is that Strowman is pretty set financially, doesn't need to immediately start booking indie appearances. However, it was said that if a promoter comes along and meets the right price, Strowman would be interested. Strowman is reportedly under a standard 90-day non-compete clause with WWE, which would expire, much like Black and everybody else, on August 31st. I reached out to an indie promoter of note this morning, and I was like, hey, like, what's your interest in Braun Strowman? I hear he's charging 5 figures. The promoter laughed at me, said, there's no way anyone will book him for his crazy price. You can't make any money on an indie level putting 10-figure or 5 figures into anybody, really. Yeah. I've heard it on a special occasion, like a Sting or a Bret Hart, but even them, like, I think you can get down to like 75 if you know them, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I was told Braun is going to have a hard time finding bookings with this rate currently. And it was also brought up to me how Braun did not really make any goodwill with the indies during the pandemic when he put out that Instagram post talking about how the indie wrestlers needed to stop complaining about losing work, and how he was able to pull up himself by his bootstraps and make himself the success that he is. And that is something that many indie wrestlers and promoters have not forgotten about. And so it'll be interesting here as Braun tries to find his footing if there will be hands outreach to help him, is how it sounds.
I'm not surprised he's asking for that much. I think he thinks it's going to be like the Andre treatment, to where he comes in and he's going to do big numbers for them. I think he's going to go to Hollywood. He was already in that Sherlock Holmes movie with Will Ferrell. He's a big dude. He's going to get 5 figures to be a big muscle in any action movie, some Fast and the Furious, whatever, any Jason Statham, anything. And he's going to be a big muscle movie guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like he has a personality and that he's kind of funny. So they might stick him in a comedy, and then you have Hollywood Braun Strowman, who now you have to pay the 5 figures.
I think Braun Strowman should come to Chicago, enlist at Second City, get in the curriculum, and then he can get that Stephen Colbert connection, right? Whoa. The monster among late night comedy writers, right?
We'll be like, Braun, it's yes and no. Okay, that works. See, nobody's going to edit him off. Nobody's going to tell him what to do. They'll be like, that was great, thanks. I'm just going to climb on him. Anytime there's somebody who's bigger than me in improv, I climb on him. I lean in and I go, I'm going to jump on you, buddy.
It is fun that way. It is. It's fun. Touch. That's the Susan Messing School of Improv. Just touch. All touching all the time. Just be close with each other, All right. What a weird show this is today. I love it. All right. Anyway, we have the next start. So unlike Braun, who I was told it's going to be difficult maybe for him because of some of the things he said to find work at the price that he is asking for at the moment. The opposite here is PW Insider, reinforcing what, again, I've been hearing from other promoters, which is that Buddy Murphy may end up having a very lucrative run on the indies. Word going around is that there has been a lot of interest in him from promoters and booking all of the talents for June 2nd, but Murphy in particular, his name has come up a lot with top promoters. Promoters reportedly have significant interest in booking Murphy, as there's a feeling that he could have a ton of, quote, dream matches with top indie stars. Murphy and the other WWE cuts from June 2nd are reportedly under a standard 90 days. So just like the other two, August 31st is when he come up. So, man, yeah, Buddy Murphy, you think about that style that he has and how it perfectly meshes with the talent on the indies right now. Buddy Murphy's going to have some real buzz on him here.
Oh, Buddy Murphy's he's going to come out of this better, I think, or go into this even better than he was. What's his name? The best kept secret? Like what he would call himself?
Yeah, best kept secret. I think his email address right now is secrets out or something like that. So we'll have no he hasn't changed his name yet though on Twitter. I've noticed. Still just Buddy Murphy. We'll see what he changes.
But it'll be something, because people have been joking that he is like a Kenny Omega style, and now you have all these people that he can go against and work his style. He's fire to watch wrestle. He's amazing. He's gonna do great, and I wish him well.
Yeah, very excited to hear that about Buddy. And yeah, very well-liked guy as well. No problems politically, as I was kind of poking around. So a lot of opportunity there for him. And this last item here about wrestlers that are no longer with the company. Fightful reporting that Akam and Razor, remember them? Remember the Authors of Pain? Big old muscle men. Other wrestlers had inquired about bringing AOP into particular companies, but nothing had ever come of it. It was noted that Akam and Razor were, in fact, brought to AEW last year, but officials weren't sure if they were a good fit at the time. The door was still left open for AOP to potentially work with AEW in the future. AOP were also suggested to New Japan officials, but the company was not bringing over new talent to Japan at the time, and the budget for such a move was said to have not been near what was required. As of now, word going around is that both of these guys are working jobs, and those who reached out had been told that they had retired from the business, but as this reporting is coming out, Akam and Razor, they took to Instagram and they reacted to this retirement news. They both posted the same photo from their days in NXT with the caption, "Ain't done yet, bitches." So taking some time to go be bodyguards or muscle men at the clubs, whatever they're doing. And then
I have to imagine that they're mechanics.
We bought a Dippin' Dots franchise. All right.
How many scoops? Welcome to the future.
Yes, the authors of Liquid Hydrogen. That's the thing. I don't know why Dippin' Dots. What?
Dippin' Dots was a wild choice. It's very specific. Specific.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, right. Anyway, what'd you say? I cut you off.
No, y'all good. Yeah, I'm hoping that they get back in wrestling. I like them. I like this style. I like two big, meaty men bruisers. I'd like to see them anywhere.
I wonder, and again, I don't want to get too deep into the psyche of AEW, but I wonder why these guys weren't a fit there, because they're so good. They were you saw, I went to a lot of NXT takeovers when AOP was with Paul Ellering, and dude, so imposing, such a great presence. They work well with everyone. I just wonder if because the tag division in AEW is made up of light cruiserweights, right? Is that the thing? You didn't want to drop two big dudes into that division that are just, but that seems foolhardy to me. Wouldn't you want a big monster tag team, right?
That's what I'm saying. They don't have a monster tag team or just any big, just considering that they're monsters. I mean, I don't know how tall they are. They're tall, but they're not Big Show tall or giants. But they are big men, and next to the smaller guys are gonna look even cooler. They can be a good baseboard. They can jump off of them. What was the little pummel horse or whatever? Sure. Yeah, I think they should have a bigger tag team that shows up in your life. They're gonna crush people, and then the other teams have to use their speed and technical prowess.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a really good name for their tag team. They could be the pummel horses, right? Horses that pummel you.
Pummel you.
Yeah. They could be pummel horses, right? You got to think.
And then be their managers. They have two managers.
Okay.
Wolfgang in the Noid.
Wolfgang in the Noid. Yeah. Hey, who wants some Dippin' Dots? Am I right? Simone Biles comes out. Oh, I love these pummel horses, right? Isn't that?
We get Simone Biles and Reginald to jump off of them. It'd be great.
Dude, Reginald, man. Is that man? Does he have bones?
I don't know. But is it bad that I enjoy his matches? He shows up what is Reginald gonna do today?
Yeah. Well, Bender Rodriguez, which by the way, awesome Futurama reference, just wrote Taka and Razor, which is what I always thought when I heard their names, from Ninja Turtles. Dina Garofalo, AEW coming back as Akam and Razor Ramon. That's dumb. Appreciated. We also have from Alonzo Smith here, who, by the way, commented on my love of Dippin' Dots, and I am obsessed with Dippin' Dots. That is true. But AOP had awesome entrance music, both pretty young as well. Their run in NXT was awesome. And kind of similarly to what we were talking about with Aleister Black and how the demand for him could result in him making more money. When you find out AOP's retired, dude, I love AOP. I would give anything to see AOP right now. I want to, that's right. The price goes up, right? The more demand. This report about them
being economics, Nick.
I went to the School of Thugonomics. I got a degree of some kind. I was given it. DJ Bumpy Knuckles was teaching us about flow theory.
This is how you move your tassel.
And you can now all call yourselves graduates of Thugonomics.
And we can't see you till we need you to stay up your phone. Thank you.
So Bender Rodriguez, that was a great write in there. Thank you very much. We also had Joseph here. AOP would be perfect with Roman and the Bloodline. Agreed, but they're not blood. That's kind of what makes the Roman Reigns thing work, Let's see here. We have Samantha here asking us what we're on. I need some good times. I'm all jacked up on
happiness. I'm having a good day. I drank some coffee. I ate a cinnamon roll. It's sugar. Yeah. It's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, and by the way, Phil says that you're not serious enough for a podcast. Do you know what podcasting is? Like,
Who said that? You want me to get serious, buddy?
Phil. His name Phil.
Phil?
Phil.
You dill. Yeah, take that for serious. I showed you.
And where was the comment? Oh yeah, here we go. Also from Phil, by the way, I agree with AEW can't book the bigs. Look at Nyla, Cage, Hobbs, Archer. Yeah, all the big outside of Miro, who is a large man and did take the title. It has been really noticeable to me that all the big guys in AEW get used to make the little guys seem bigger. You know?
Yeah, and cool, but at what point, like, it defeats the purpose of them coming and being a big scary monster if you let your go-to guy crush him. Lance Archer should be burning it down every night. And they were like, Cody, beat him.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Ryan W., y'all entertaining. That is what a podcast is. LOL. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes.
Thank you. The W is for winner, Ryan. Yep. Phil, you hear that?
Yeah, wow. Picking fights in the chat room today. All right. One more news item. Then we're going to jump, if you're in audio form, to the Triple H media call. And then we'll come back. We'll do the mailbag at the end of the show for everybody. At WrestleVotes, WWE officials are looking to make SummerSlam into a WrestleMania level event this year. It was noted that all resources are going to be tapped into for the biggest pay-per-view of the summer. Not a surprise. This is their big coming out party again. I know they're going to do Money in the Bank in front of fans, which is great. They'll be out on the road before that, but SummerSlam, they got to lay it in. What are your expectations for SummerSlam this year, EJ?
Oh, I'm gonna bet Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
That's why they let go of Braun and Aleister Black. They need money for Lesnar to come back. CM Punk, I don't know.
Hey, yeah.
Which doesn't look like CM. People read this as something else. We'll talk about that when the show's on.
I see what it is, and it's a unique kind of punk that you are. All right.
Which I guess is fitting. Anywho,
Phil. It's Pride Month. Wear that one up and down Broadway, or on Halstead. Wear that one up around Boys Town. I'm sure you'd be a very big fan, Anyway. So
I think Brock is coming back. They're gonna do something big. SummerSlam's one of my personal favorites. Maybe even a Cena pop up.
A Cena, yeah.
I could see them bringing out all the big guns, even like hit up The Rock to see if he'll come by, and just throw every heavy artillery and be like, "We're back. This is what we had. Don't forget it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think for sure we're gonna get like a cacophony of big names. We've had Braddock here in the chat room. I don't know exactly where Braddock's last time he asked was, but when do we see Becky Lynch coming back? I think a lead into SummerSlam. I honestly think I think Money in the Bank is going to be a really interesting pay-per-view because you could bring back, a John Cena or a Becky Lynch and put the Money in the Bank briefcase on some big names, right? To really generate some interest going into SummerSlam or even the back half of the year into the Rumble and Mania season. I mean, that to me, ahead of SummerSlam, that Money in the Bank show, who you decide to put that briefcase on could create some very compelling storylines going into your live crowd season.
Yeah, you got a big fish carrying the title. I'm waiting for Hollywood Cena, suit and tie Cena, to show up and just destroy people.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I want to figure out, what how did he get out of the funhouse, right? Because if he comes back, is that when we get Bray coming back too? Is Bray releasing Cena out of the funhouse onto the world, and now he's different, right? He's tweaked up top.
He was stuck in the funhouse doing commercials.
I like the idea of John Cena having a little bit of a possession kind of thing, where a piece of Braun, you don't know it at first, but sometimes he just does things that are weird.
He's out of nowhere. He crab walks, and he's like,
It's like, John, are you eating? Are you drinking gasoline out of a coffee cup? What is it? Why would you do that?
What is this?
All right, everybody. Well, that'll bring us to the mailbag and the end of the show portion where we're going to talk some more. We're going to look at the daily poll. Thank you very much to WWE and Triple H for having us on the media call. If you're watching us live, again, go find the audio here. It'll be up on the RSS feed in not too long. By the way, I saw this flip by here. Mozart Gutierrez Haven't seen Nick for a minute. When you visiting Pacifica again? I will be out in Cali here, hopefully this summer is the plan. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for Hausman on the coast. All right. Today's poll question at WInc Daily, WINC Daily, over on Twitter. That's the account to follow. It's where we put the daily poll up. It's where we announce new shows. It's where we make other announcements. It's great. Today's poll question is based off the following report from The Observer. The June 4th SmackDown averaged 1.883 million viewers with a 0.5 in the 18 to 49 demo. Second lowest viewership since they moved to Fox. Dynamite on the same night did 462,000 viewers, 0.19 in the key demo. The worst demo rating, lowest viewership in the history of Dynamite. It was noted that of the people who watched, of the people who had TNT and Fox in their home, 15.6% of the people that watched at least 1 minute of SmackDown also watched 1 minute of Dynamite. The weekly crossover between NXT and Dynamite was usually around 25%, which is 1 in 4, which is way higher than I thought, actually. So while Dynamite has been forced to air on Fridays and Saturday nights due to the NBA playoffs, the Observer reporting that these temporary time slots are also a way for AEW to gauge the Friday night time slots for when the new Rampage show premieres on TNT beginning August 13th. So it was just a general look at who's watching what, why we had a dip, what expectations are. And that made me think to myself, well, while we're talking about TV shows, we got some great programming right now. What is your favorite pro wrestling TV show each week? Is it SmackDown? Is it Dynamite? Is it NXT? Or is it something else? Almost 400 votes here. 47.4 Dynamite, 27.7 SmackDown, 21.1 NXT, 3.9 other. EJ, for you right now, what is your favorite show to watch each week?
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Giving it to SmackDown. I'm loving the head of the table business. The Usos, when Roman accidentally called Jimmy Uso and then said, "Does it matter?" I actively was like, oh, like I'm always waiting to see what's happening next with that core, the whole show in general, but them specifically is I think that's the best storyline going right now.
Yeah, I voted SmackDown just because I'm on the Roman Reigns bandwagon as well right now. It's a one big elephant show at the moment for the most part, but there's some other stuff to like on SmackDown as well. And with these big names coming back, I mean, July 16th, that's a SmackDown in Houston. That's the first big one back with fans. That's where they're going to let it all hang out. So I pick SmackDown at the moment as well. So
yeah.
We have here in the comment section at the Bus Cat, which I believe is a cat that's on a bus somewhere. AEW, it reminds me of the late 90s wrestling. It's not always perfect, but it's always unpredictable. You never see the same match over and over and over again like Raw. And if you miss Raw for a few weeks, you miss nothing. But there's always something interesting on Dynamite. I agree with that. The unpredictability factor of AEW, I like. Raj Mooker, SmackDown and NXT. Aztec AY, Dynamite and NXT. I enjoy and like them for different reasons, but both are better than SmackDown and Raw at the moment. Well, I didn't even include Raw. I thought about making it a formal poll choice, but I figured it would just, result in some people dunking on Raw, right?
We know. Yeah. We all get it. We all watched Raw this week. It's fine.
At Roy De La Rosa, a write-in for MLW. They're doing great. Lorenz75, a write-in for New Japan Strong, which also is doing great. We did have one write-in here from Robbie Al-Assad, who voted for WWE Raw and was alone in the write-ins for Raw. So, Robbie, we're concerned. If that's your favorite show, find another one. All right. And then we have a lot of write-ins here. Alonzo, NXT. Ricky, me, SmackDown 2. Antonio Garcia, NXT is the best produced. Praddock, oh, wait, he just had a write-in here. Praddock is never really having the conversation with us. He's always starting his own conversation. Hey, Nick, can you please tell Triple H conference call when the fans return back to bring unique custom stage sets for every main roster pay-per-view? You know what, Praddock? I make no promises, but I will try my best to bring up the sets.
You got cool, Nick. Tell Triple H.
Hunter, get over here. I've got a list
out.
Yeah. You may not have heard. I'm from the popular morning radio program Wolfgang and the Noid, and I have
Noid. Ooh, Wolfgang.
Ro Davidson, Ricky Smith, or Ricky SmackDown. My choice as well. I was agreeing with Ricky. Okay. Phil back here, no longer bashing you or the show for being hilarious. AEW is the easiest to watch. NXT is the best book. SmackDown has the best story. And that is all, I think, accurate. I feel that is
accurate. Is very accurate. Good job, Phil. You're getting it, buddy.
Alonzo Smith, SmackDown is boring because it's Roman Reigns overloaded. Wow. He starts the show, threads the show, and closes the show. He also sits back with his new teeth, tight sweatpants, and he never wrestles. Alonzo, you hate because he's a heel. Yeah, he got them nice teeth and tight sweatpants. Doesn't wrestle because you're not supposed to like him. He's a bad guy.
They're called joggers because he's running the game. Alonzo.
There you go. Dino, Roman has to win the tag titles with Jay to show him that Jimmy is meaningless.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
We go, see? That was easy. That'd be fire.
Antonio Garcia, this is a good observation. If they're going to have wrestling on Friday nights, they need more action, less talk, so it can be shown in bars like MMA on Saturday nights. That is, I had not thought about it, but that is a great reason to not be doing 5 Tony Schiavone interviews in the middle of the ring during Rampage on Friday nights. That's a great call. It's a good call.
Yeah. Totally agree, because that's what people want to see. If you're not watching and you haven't watched, you're like, yo, what was that? You have so many athletic wrestlers out now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're showing recaps and storylines, and people, the average fan or people who don't really watch are like, I don't care about that. I don't want to see this soap opera.
The Saiyan Turtle, by the way, back to talk about the sets that Praddock got going. They should ditch the current stage, bring back the fist. Agreed. Fists. Let's see here. Anything else I want to read? Let's see. SmackDown is the best from Praddock. Samantha, Nick Wolfgang Hausman, and EJ the Noid Cameron, the best podcasters ever. And then, for whatever reason, the Saiyan Turtle just said the Fight Pit versus Lions Den. Don't know why. Don't care. Put it up on screen. All right. Hey, we're done. We're done here today. We'll be back to, or I'll be back tomorrow. Christy Olsen's going to be in the house. It's Friday, man. I cannot believe tomorrow is going to be Friday. I will be back tomorrow with Christy, and we're going to air part 2 of Drew Rice's conversation with Gerald Briscoe. We did part 1 on Wednesday. Tomorrow will be the second half. So Briscoe, very Briscoe week here. Also, WrestlingInc.com. That's the website. Follow us over there on all the social media channels. And if you like the Wrestling Inc. Daily, support the Wrestling Inc. podcast. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Fridays, weekends after pay-per-views, right here live on all of the platforms. And by the way, this is a very positive moment here, EJ. Before I throw to you, Phil says EJ is okay in my books. So we've won EJ back over.
Wait a minute. What do you mean okay? Just okay, Phil?
Yeah. Phil, you come to Chicago. You buy yourself a little ticket to a place called the ETC stage at Second City. You watch EJ do his thing. And then you tell us that EJ is just okay. By the way, because I'm just going to put it out there. I'm trying to, when AEW comes to town for Double or Nothing, I really want to get AEW stars doing improv with EJ at Second City. That's like a thing I'm putting out into the universe. And I think there's a good chance it'll happen. But I was talking with Liz the other night about you and Second City, and she was like, remember, and you do so many improv bits, right? Like there's a million, you don't remember them all. I don't remember anything I did. But you did this like a Grease musical number.
That's right.
The night we went, and it was just so beautiful. And Liz was just kind of like looking off into the distance, like thinking about how beautiful that particular improv was. And so I just want you to know that we appreciate you and what you do.
I appreciate that. And that was at 1 a.m. on a Saturday night. Like, just we were messing around and being stupid, and it turned out to be like one of the better sets that we've done. So I appreciate that. I remember it because you both remember it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really good set. And then we waited for you to leave the show, and I befriended 2 people that randomly were from my hometown. And I was like, oh, I know EJ, we're going to go drink. And we blew these like out of towners' minds by like taking them across the street to the bar, and then they got to like hang out with you in the cast.
And we all drank together. That's right.
Yeah.
That was a cute couple. They were leaving the next day. Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Phil, by the way, Phil saying, okay, when the pandemic is over, he's going to drive to the States. So look, we're not even like, this could have been contentious, but we made it a positive thing between Phil and EJ.
Power of positivity. By the way, I wore my New Day shirt yesterday and got so many compliments just everywhere walking down the street. This lady at the dispensary goes, "Is that the New Day? I haven't watched wrestling in years, but those three," and just busted out laughing. And I was like, huh, New Day.
There it is, the power of positivity. And that is what we try to bring to you all here at the Daily. EJ, where can people go find you, follow you, support you, all those things?
Oh my goodness, right here on Twitter, right here on the handle, I'm at EJ_Tam19 on the Twitters. If you want to follow me there, I'm also EasyJesus19 on Instagram. That's like 4 E's. Once you type all those E's in, you'll see me.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Wolfgang von Hausman over on Twitter. No, I'm Nick_Hausman over on Twitter. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really had a great time today. I will talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked,